Good morning, everyone, to Marketing Matters. I'm Sarah Touchstone, Landmark Title's social media marketing strategist and educator, getting the pleasure of bringing you Marketing Matters live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. We bring you the best in marketing for your real estate business. We bring on industry experts, we cover tools, and we also have the pleasure of having top producers in our industry come on and share what they're doing, what they're seeing out there, and why they are, even in a market shift, still top producers. Today, we have Oleg Bortman of the Brokery. The Brokery, they are amazing. We have the pleasure at Landmark Title of getting to work with them directly on a very regular basis. And Oleg, he heads this whole operation. He does everything. They are located mainly in the Biltmore area. So, if they're in the Biltmore area, they're dealing with a lot of really high-end, really important historical things and homes in that area. So Oleg, so excited to have you on today. Can't wait to hear more about what y'all are doing and particularly how you are weathering this market shift, because I know people are getting nervous out there.
Sarah, thank you so much for having me. I am very honored to be part of this panel today. I'm going to give kind of a little background and kind of what I've seen. So I got licensed out here in 2009. Tucker and I created a team called the Suits back in the day that was based out of the Biltmore. Now we have three real estate offices, one in North Central, right off of Bethany Home and 8th Street. We have our flagship in Arcadia, so 40th and Campbell. We also have one in the lobby of the Biltmore Hotel where the whole business started. We just recently actually acquired, so you talk about the market shift. So even in the middle of this market shifting, we recently, I think it was like 6 weeks ago, we acquired our first Scottsdale office. So we're expanding our footprint. So people ask, the market shifting, what are you doing? I'm a buyer. So even in the market as we are shifting, we opened up our North Central office. We acquired that in 2019 or 20, maybe 20, in the middle of the pandemic. We bought. So when the market also constricted, we bought an office in the middle of a pandemic. And now with the market shifting again, we're buying our first Scottsdale office. So market is shifting, there's no question about it. The inflation is in fact affecting a lot of people. But agents that have created their real estate portfolio as a business and not chasing transactions will always succeed in every market shift. Why will they succeed? Because if they market themselves correctly, knowing what the economy is doing and how the market is shifting, people that are acquiring a home as a first-time home buyer, or even the fifth-time home buyer, doesn't matter. The primary residence, you can't time the market. Your job is not to time the market, it's to buy a home and call it a home.
Yes.
So if you market yourself understanding that there's a difference between investors and home ownership, the best time to buy a home is always today. If you ask me 3 years from now, it's today. If you ask me in 2010, it was today, because you have two choices. You either own the home or you're paying somebody's home off as a renter. Those are your two options, right? If you're not living on the streets, which I hope no one ever has to live on the streets, you're either going to be a renter or an owner, and you can't ever time the market.
Yeah, I like your positive take on that. That it's always a good time to buy a home, because we hear a lot of times the inverse of that, like it's never a good time to buy a home.
100%. The buyers that tell you that, they're not real buyers. They're tire kickers. They're the ones that walk into a Louis Vuitton store and want to look at purses, but they have no intent of ever buying a Louis Vuitton. They're the ones that walk into a Tesla dealership or Ferrari dealership or a Chevy dealership to see the new stuff, but they have zero intent to buy. So I heard that same story 5-6 years ago, like Oh, I heard on the news, it's not a good time to buy. Those that did not buy in 19 or 17 or 18 or 20 before the pandemic or in the middle of the pandemic, they lost at least 30% of equity in a house year over year.
Yeah.
So are the interest rates up? Absolutely. Your job as a realtor is to be as honest and transparent with the buyer. So interest rates have gone up by a point and a half. When I bought my first home, I'm going to date myself, was in 1999. I was so ecstatic to get an interest rate of 7.75% and I had stellar credit. So
Right.
it's incredible. I was like, so even if the rates are 5.25, whatever the rates are today, to me, it is irrelevant because what I'm doing is still buying a home. Now, have the prices gone up and the interest rates gone up? Absolutely at the same time. So 6 months ago, when I thought I could afford an $800,000 home, if I want to have a certain mortgage payment, then I can only afford a $650,000 home. So the buyer missed that window. So they either have to go get a job that pays more, right? Or buy a little bit less home.
Mm-hmm.
Sellers now have totally shifted their market vision and concerns. When I went to listing appointments in January and February, they're like, oh, I'm not in any rush to list, da, 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 da. Now, what the price I quoted them on the listing price back in January, February is very different than what I'm going to quote them today. Why? Because we do have more inventory. They have more competition. The buyer's buying power has shifted quite a bit. So I went into a Biltmore house and told them that it's worth $1 million in February. And then they called me 3 weeks ago and said, hey, Oleg, I want to list the house. I'm going to explain to them, I think it's probably going to be listed at 925 or 950. Now, did they lose money? Absolutely not, because the neighbor is not dropping their price. They lost equity because they were not, quote unquote, in a rush to sell. Right. When there was 4,000 homes and now there's 17,000 homes, there's a couple more options for the potential buyer. So you're going to have huge conundrums. First, you got to convince a buyer that now's a good time to buy. And then you also have to convince a seller that the homes aren't selling in 72 hours, like the company out there, 72 hours sold. I don't even know how they're in business anymore because that model doesn't work, because I don't see homes selling in 72 hours anymore. Now, you're going to ask, well, people have asked me, oh, like, well, so how does this market compare? This market reminds me, I've been in real estate since 2009, so almost 13 years. This market and housing inventory levels are almost identical to 2017, 18, and 19. I did an analysis.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic hit, really in 20, we used to have 20,000 homes. If you look at your Armless, they do a great job. Armless does a spectacular job on statistics. 2017, we're running about 20.
I think we may have had Oleg free.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, sorry.
For just a second.
Sorry. So let me take a step back. So in 2017, the housing market inventory was running same months, July, August, about 20,000 homes. In 18 is about 18 and 19,000, and then in 2019 it went down to about 17,000 homes. So we are running identical inventory levels back then. Excuse me, back then was still a seller's market, because the demand outsurpasses the buyers, the inventory. So when the demand is outsurpassing supply is the seller, the demander is the buyer, it's always a seller's market. To have a balanced market, we need 6 months of inventory, right? We've creeped up from 1.2 months of inventory to even 2.5 months. It doesn't matter. It's still a seller's market. I still see homes. I'm in bidding wars with my buyers sometimes. When a home is priced right, they're getting 2-3 offers. When a seller did not come out egregiously overpriced, it will sell the first weekend, even in this market, because it's still a seller's market.
Yeah, I hear from people all the time. We didn't, our home didn't even hit the market. It was coming soon and it sold. So it's still happening like that, but Agreed. every single transaction that is happening in 72 hours,
Exactly.
like we've seen. So it is. I mean, I know I got into the market in 2017, and it reminds me so much. It's been funny because it's been a funny 5 years because, getting that 2017, 18, 19 market, for me on the marketing side, getting all of that marketing under my belt, and then having to completely switch up, like, okay, none of this works anymore. None of this marketing works. What are we going to do? Having to completely reassess, how we on the marketing and title side are helping our agents to get sellers, to get buyers. And then it feels like almost overnight, we went back to that 2017 market. And, I'm digging up all of my old marketing and all of my old files. And I'm like, okay, guys, it's back to basics. So how are you guys at the Brokery kind of helping some of your newer agents? I know you do podcasts. I know you do mentoring. How are you helping them to navigate these waters if they've never been, real estate agents in a type of market like this? They're used to just this snatch and grab 72 wham bam type of marketing out there.
Yes, that's a great point. So the last couple of years, right? One of the best ways to build a book of business, unless you're born here and you're very well networked in, is open houses. The last 2 years, you couldn't sit in open house. Like, you couldn't gain any leads, either on the buy side or the sell side, because there's no inventory to sell. As soon as I got 4 listings, they were sold, right? Before I could even sit in open ones.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you'd almost have to, like, if you were going to have an open house, be like, hey, let's just not tell anybody this is under contract.
Totally.
It literally was by the time you could have an open house.
100%. So now this is giving us an opportunity for the newer agents to hang the license with companies that have inventory for you to sit open. Marketing, remember, as a newer agent or even an experienced agent, let's say you do 3 million, 5 million, 7 million a year, or you do 0. The best way to grow your business is to market yourself to your sphere. If you have a very small sphere, you have to prospect, right? You can cold call, you can call expires, cancels. Not everybody likes a cold call. Or you could sit open houses. However, what the Brokery has done over the years is we've taken up so much market share in the markets that we're in. When someone's now seriously looking to list a house, we get the majority of the lion's share of our listings. So then our agents have the ability to sit $1 million home open, $2 million, 500,000, 3 million, whatever we have as a company. Our agents can sit and start prospecting on a daily basis on new buyers that are running around and sellers. Think about it. If it's 112 degrees out, I haven't seen a tire kicker in Arizona looking for a home in July or August. They're serious. If it's 112, you're not leaving your air-conditioned car to walk across the street to go into an open house just because you have nothing better to do on a Thursday or a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Most of them are actually out of state because they're not looking to buy a house. But those that are here and coming in open houses, they for sure are buying.
That's a really good point.
And in 17 and 18, 19, you could pick up tons of buyers at open houses.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And how often do we see in the summertime in Phoenix, real estate agents taking months off? It gets slow, it's hot, I gotta get out of here. These are missed opportunities. If your competition is hosting open houses and they're here and they're servicing, potential buyers, potential leads. I think it's a great point that you made, that the people that are looking in the summer, they are really looking, like there's a reason that they are looking. And if you're not being in front of them, if you're not staying top of mind with them, then these are missed opportunities.
100%. When I started off my career in 2009 out here, I purposely did not leave in the summers because I knew all the deep pocket agents who've been doing it for a long time. They go to Coronado, La Jolla, the Midwest, to their lake homes. And for 2 months, they were gone. I was the only one sitting open houses in the Biltmore. And that's why we gained so much market share over the years, because people would come in, I'd get their information, name, phone number, email, and I would drip on them slowly. But they also, when they come in at open house, they're like, wow, this person's serious about real estate.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're showing up to work, and think about it, I'm out there's a lot of new builds going on right now. You see landscapers, you see the roofers, you see contractors. They're working outside in 112-degree weather, 8 hours a day. Don't tell me as an agent you can't sit 4 hours in an air-conditioned house and just put up signs. It takes you 10 minutes to put up some signs. Yes, it's hot. Then you're air conditioned for 4 hours. You take your signs down and you go home. If you really want to grow your business, there is not a better time to grow your business than now, because it's still a seller's market, but buyers are out there looking every single day. Also, how do you market yourself? I know there's a lot of brokerages out there. There's 5,800 brokers out there in brokerages, and everybody has a team. Remember, when you're out there and you sign up with a team A or team B at brokerage C, so you have a big brokerage, as 1,000 agents or even 300 agents. Every person at the brokerage has their own sub team. So let's say I decide to join your team, right? So I joined your team and I joined Sarah's team at Landmark Real Estate Company. There is no way that Debbie's team at Landmark Real Estate Company is going to let me sit there at house open, right? Because they have agents on their own team that want to generate leads. Mm-hmm. So Sarah only has 2 listings. Debbie's team has 3 listings. What's so cool, again, our atmosphere here, why our agents have been doing amazing in shifting markets all the time, is because every listing that somebody has at the brokery, every single agent can sit everybody's listings open. It's a very different concept. So Tucker and I have the majority of the listings. We have back in 2017, 18, we'd have 20 to 30 listings at any time. The last 2 years, we're lucky to have 2 active ones because 12 were on the contract as soon as we listed them, right?
Yeah.
Now we have, again, 15 or 20 listings. So even the newer agents will sit Tucker's and Oleg's listing. Our newer agents will see Debbie's listing, Sam's listing, anybody's listing, because Sam, who has 5 listings, can't sit 5 homes at the same time. But we don't have teams competing or shutting you out on the ability to prospect in this shifting environment. It's just a very different concept we've created. And that's why we keep growing and buying more buildings, so more agents can experience the same kind of success across all panels.
Yeah, that's very awesome. Oleg, how are you helping your agents to set client expectations during the market shift? Because I know a lot of agents, you know, because it literally did shift overnight. So clients, you know, sellers still think that their home is worth $1 million, but, you know, they're having a really hard time with, you know, communication. You know, they're having a hard time communicating that the market has shifted, that, you know, they need to reduce their price. And of course, you know, most sellers are like, okay, let's reduce it by $5,000. You know, however, we know that that's not even going to register on the board. So how are you at the brokery kind of helping your agents and clients to be in the know about this market shift?
Yes, that's a great question. So right now it's a little bit more challenging than even in 2017, because we came from such a high of pricing that now we're asking the sellers to like, hey, the reality is the market is stabilizing. I'm not asking you to drop your price, but you can't list your house more than your neighbor anymore by 20%. That's not going to get it done. So why do I say it's more challenging than in 17? Because now you even have more agents. We have like 90,000 of us running around the valley, all hoping for a listing. So you go to a listing appointment and they say, yeah, I interviewed 2 other people. I interviewed somebody from Landmark, a real estate company, and Susie's brokerage. And I come with a CMA saying your house is worth $1 million. They're like, well, Susie said it's worth 1.195, right? So Susie knows deep down inside that's not selling for 1.2 million, but Susie needs a listing. Why does she need a listing? Because she needs to prospect. She wants to sit open houses and generate leads. So the way you combat that is you need to be as transparent and show more value that you are truly the expert, understanding how a CMA really works. Say, listen, yes, Susie came in here showing me your home is worth 1.2 million. Well, in January and February, that might have been the case. That is before inflation hit at 9%. That is before interest rates are 5.5%. And that is before the stock market dropped 20%. So you can go with Susie, and I promise you that in 40 days, you're going to be back at the price that I told you at $1 million. But now you're chasing the market. I'm telling you the house is worth $1 million today. But if you list it 35 days from now, it might be worth a little bit less. So you're not going to win every listing appointment if you're honest with the client. However, you'll be able to go to sleep comfortably knowing that it's overpriced. And in this market, it's not bad. Back in the day, we'd say it's sometimes not bad to be the 3rd realtor, right? You heard that saying?
Yeah, second spouse, 3rd realtor.
Right, 3rd realtor, right? We're not far from that shift again because agents are going to overprice the home. And in 30 days, if it doesn't sell, they're going to cut the contract. They're not going to wait 6 months. So we're already seeing agents shift after 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I got no showings. I'm not going to, Oleg, you say, I got no showings, whatever. I'm going to switch agents. So you're going to start seeing shift of agents. So just tell them that, listen, that's fine. List it with Susie at 1.2 million, but only sign a 30 or 60-day contract. Don't get tied up for 60 days because I'm telling you it's not selling at 1.2 million anymore. And in 30 days, if it doesn't sign, call me because then you'll know I was the one who told you the truth.
Yeah.
And now you then drop it by 200,000 and you will get an offer. New listing, the right price, it will sell.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I think that is a really good tactic with clients that, we're dealing with now is that, I know that you've heard, X, Y, and Z about the market, but this is the way that it really is. If you don't like it, go explore, go see what is out there for you. However, I think, the same with real estate as any industry, hold to your own standards.
That's right.
Don't get distracted by what other realtors are doing, because in our industry, there are people notoriously doing the wrong thing. Agreed. So even though you're like, oh man, I got to feed my kids. I gotta get these listings. I got to prospect. If you are holding to, the best standards in the industry, then you will generate the people that want the best.
Correct, 100%. I mean, I'm seeing more and more canceled listings.
So many.
Right, and the market only shifted 60 days ago.
Yeah.
Because the agents have not been really transparent with the seller, and the agent was desperate to get a listing versus creating a true business. When you have a lot of clients in the funnel, you're not chasing transactions. You've then at that point created a true business that will sustain in shifting markets. In this market, what's so amazing is we here at the Brokery, we're up almost the first 6 months, we're up almost 100% over the first 6 months of last year. Now, has the market shifted? Of course it has. But now I've made more money in the first 6 months than I did all of last year. So even if I sold nothing for the next 6 months, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna prospect like crazy. We just picked up a bunch of new listings because we built that reputation that we've always been transparent and honest with our clients over the years.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, like I said, I love having top producers like yourself on our program during uncertain times, because I love to highlight the fact that top producers, when there is a market shift, whether it was, 2 years ago when the pandemic hit, or, right after the collapse, or right now as we're shifting, top producers stay on top.
Yep.
They actually, and you said it perfectly, the last 6 months you've done better than, when everybody was having feast. When it comes to feast or famine, top producers rise to the top, and they actually do better when there is change in the market, because you follow your systems, you follow your steps. You've got, it's not just, I'm out there and I'm prospecting. The systems are in place for a reason. And so it's amazing to see the trend of when a lot of other agents are struggling, top producers are usually at their best.
Yeah, we created a model. We tested it out multiple times. We know we're one of the only, literally the only brokerages that owns brick and mortar. Think about it. Most of them are like, you have EXP model that's in corporate. They don't even have offices. They're like, oh, we'll save you got a better split, but you work out of your house. If anybody listening on here has ever had somebody walk down the street, knocked on your door and said, hey, there's a realtor live here, please raise your hand. Nobody. We know brick and mortar works. We're old school. We're in a market where people are window shopping. They're neighborhood centric. They're all about their local neighborhood, their lifestyle. I've been licensed for 13 years. Not once did anybody knock on my door and say, hey, is there a realtor in this house? Doesn't work. Now, can it work for you if you want to sell $5 million a year and you have a great network? Of course it can. Everyone has their own models. Our model here works. We are in the lobby of the Biltmore Hotel. We bought a building on Bethany Home. We built one on 40th and Campbell. We bought now one in the bottom of a condo complex, because we know it's a high-end luxury condo complex in Scottsdale. We know we'll have 150 units all around us. We are going to be the only real estate office servicing that complex. Do you understand how many leads we're going to get?
A lot.
So instead of renting on the 18th floor on Camelback Road across from City Hall, which is a great steakhouse, no one's going to go up to the 12th floor, 11th floor of Russ Lyon and say, hey, is there a realtor that works here? No one's going to the HomeSmart at 32nd and Camelback. Hey, are there HomeSmart realtors here? They don't go into corporate offices. They go into an area they feel comfortable. They like the core, the style, and we know what the consumer is looking for. So we're bucking the system, and we couldn't be more proud of what we do here. And we teach people to always be ahead of the shift. We're not a big corporate company. Tucker and I can move on a dime. If we see the market, we see the market before most people are seeing where the shift of the market is, because we look at interest rates on a daily basis. We look at the 10-year bond. We know interest rates are very sensitive to the 10-year bond. When the 10-year was at 1.85, the interest rates were 3.5, and we knew it hit 3%. We knew it's going to be at 5.5%. So we watch the global economics here at the Brokery on a daily basis. So we know when the market's shifting before most other brokerages.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that there are a lot of trends that you follow. And, when you see these trends happening, it's time to prepare. It's time to get serious. So, if for those agents that are on, if, you guys want to, know what's going on with the market shift, we do market insights. That's the first Thursday of the month. So we actually have one coming up next week,
And Scott is
9:30.
great. Scott is fabulous.
Yeah. Oleg's been on there before as one of our guest speakers too. And these are the things like, we go over it every month and we're telling you all, this is what's coming on the horizon. It's not just the numbers of what's going on right now. Scott actually dives in and gives us some insight, as it's named, into what's going to be going on. So make sure that you are armed with those information. And then as the marketing changes too, please reach out to us at Landmark Title. We really do. I mean, marketing matters. This is just a quick 30 minutes, let's get you some information. Let's get you, introduced to some of the tools and the techniques for marketing out there. But our business development managers can help you to dive so much deeper into these techniques and implement them into your company.
So are there any questions out there? Anybody want to jump in and ask some questions?
Let's see. Please, you guys, if you have any questions, utilize the question and answer window or the chat window. So we've got quite a few people on. Yes. I think they may all just be mulling over everything covered.
Maybe they're a little shy to ask a question. There's no wrong question to be asked. The only wrong question is the one that no one asked. So if you have a question, feel free to throw it in there. I think we got one coming in.
Yes. Oh, yeah, here we go. Now that we opened it up, they're like, oh, okay, yeah. All right. So Oleg, first question. What do you tell a buyer that wants to wait to see if the market drops? That's a great one.
Yeah, again, I've been hearing that for the last 13 years, every single month. What I tell that buyer is, you're buying, again, is it an investor or is it somebody calling it home, right? Right now, rental rates are increasing even faster than the cost of the acquisition of a home. So if they're going to wait and they're paying $2,000, let's say $3,000 a month in rent, and they know their landlord is going to raise their rent again, $3,000 a month times 12 is $36,000 a year. $36,000 a year probably buys you about a $600,000 home. For me, I try to explain that the chance of that home that's a $600,000 home that's truly 600, not a home that's 500 and somebody listed it at 600, right? The true $600,000 home, the chance of it dropping $36,000 when it's priced right is much lower than you throwing away $36,000 for rent this year, because that's a guarantee. You have nothing to show for it. Now, the rates are higher, I understand, but it's very possible that the rates could pull back a little bit. So let's say you're getting a 5%. In 4 months, 6 months, 12 months, in 2 years from now, the rates could go down to 4.5. You can refinance out and lower your payments. I can't project what the future is going to be. Inflation eventually will turn back around. So we're at 9%, which is historically high. It is grossly high, but in a year or two, it might come down. And the number one hedge against inflation historically has been real estate. You look at anything, you write there, what's the number one hedge against inflation? You can Google it, you can DuckDuckGo it, you could use whatever search engine you do. Number one hedge against inflation is real estate. So it's still institutional money is coming in here. That's a lot smarter than you and me.
Yeah.
These people have so much money, billions of dollars. Institutional money is still buying homes. Sarah, do you have the numbers? Last first quarter, I think it was on Armless, I forget, it was like 20 or 22% of all homes that were bought was institutional money.
Mm.
So people that, again, went to Wharton and all these very high-end business schools are running financials. And if institutions are buying, you should be buying.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we started out our program today with your quote, like it's always a good time to buy.
Yep.
I mean, and that's granted, it's hard for an agent just to go in with their clients and just say like straight out, it's always a good time to buy. So just go ahead and do it. But get your stats and get your facts. A lot of times that's, it's a great way to, you can talk until you're blue in the face with your clients, but presenting numbers, presenting what's actually going on, like Oleg said, if institutions are buying, bring them the actual stats and the numbers to show them this is why it's a good time to buy, because they're getting all kinds of chatter from everyone saying, oh, just wait. But guaranteed, most of the chatter that they're getting are not industry experts. You, as their realtor, are the industry expert. So make sure that you are projecting that knowledge and that confidence in what's going on. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes giving them numbers and stats is also a great way to really prove your point.
Yep, exactly.
All right, we got another question. What type of mentorship do you provide new agents?
Yeah, so we're very blessed here. We now have 3 branch managers, one for each branch. We have a mentorship program. So our agents come in and they get paired up with a mentor who's been producing at a very, very high level. And that mentor teaches them how to write contracts, the importance of CRMs, how to run this as a business and not running for a transaction. So it's our seasoned agents who've been here for several years, who already incorporated our model. They understand our business model, and they teach the newer agents how to be successful. Some of our best mentees, Debbie Ponticus is our branch manager out of Arcadia. She brought it, her last 2 mentees have just been amazing. So Tatiana, who got her license about a year and a half ago, she came from the corporate world on a background, 0 sales experience. In her first 12 months, she sold $11 million. She then took on another mentee, Ty, who's a dear friend of mine. I've known him for years. And he's been with us just over a year, just under a year. In his first 6 months, he sold about $5 or $6 million. So our mentors are handpicked at our company because they understand the model, they live the model, and they teach the younger agents how to grow correctly and not chase transactions.
Yeah. And since I've been in the real estate industry, one of the things that I cannot speak highly enough about are mentors, because the real estate industry, it's a trade. You don't know what you don't know. And I'm sure that just about everybody on here has gone through their real estate training. I hope they have the real estate classes. And you know that those classes do not prepare you for real estate. Because it's transactional and every transaction is so incredibly different. It really is an on the job learning environment. And the best way that you can learn is from having mentors. I've seen agents struggle for, years on their own saying, I can do this, only to eventually go get a mentor and then see their business just explode. So mentorship programs are so incredibly important in this industry.
Awesome.
All right. Any other questions? We did have one but that one was just like, can I get a copy of Oleg's recording? Because this is awesome.
Thank you.
So, all right. If you guys have any other questions, like I said, put it up in the chat, the question and answer window. I'm going to go ahead and run through some of the other classes that we have coming up. And then if we get any other questions, we will let you know.
Awesome.
Oleg, would you also be willing to put your contact information in the chat? Sometimes people do have questions, but they don't want to necessarily get called out. So if you guys want to reach out to Oleg. All right, so we've got a couple of classes coming up. We've got nuggets for newbies. This is going to be tomorrow at 2:30 with a happy hour. Or registration starts at 2:30. The event is 3 to 4, and there is a happy hour after. This is going to be in Peoria. We've got some great speakers coming, and we just talked a lot about new agents and how they can really set themselves up for success. So if you're a newer agent and you want to go to this, let us know. We'll get you registered. And then we also tomorrow have a class coming up. This class is in representing investor clients, which we just talked about as well. 22% of the buyers out there are investors. So getting the opportunity to work with them is great. So this one is going to be out in Goodyear at our Goodyear branch. Actually, this is tomorrow as well from 11:30 to 1. If you would like, Renee is hosting this. If you'd like to attend, let us know. We'll get you registered for that as well. Then we've got a Zoom coming up next month. I'm already, guys, it's almost August. We're already looking forward to the August classes. This one's going to be on Breakthrough Broker. Michelle is hosting this, but I think we're going to go ahead and open it up because it is on Zoom. So anybody, you don't have to be in the Prescott area. You can be anywhere because it's via Zoom. If you'd like to learn more about the Breakthrough Broker tool that we offer here at Landmark Title, this is a really interesting tool. Obviously, we've got a full marketing department here and design department. We love designing all of your material. However, sometimes you get a call Friday night from a client. They want you to do an open house. They want you to do a listing presentation. They need something and our offices are closed. This is another really great resource for you. And then I'll be up at the Prescott office on August 23rd. So August 22nd, we've got a Zoom. August 23rd, I'll be up there talking about top of mind events. Guys, this is bringing it back. This is the 2017, 18, 19 marketing tools, our events. We took a big break from them. If you're just getting into the industry, you're like, events. Oh, that's a thing. It's a thing. And it's coming back full strength. So that's going to be a 9:30 a.m. class at our Prescott office. And then we're going to do an 11 a.m. GIF party. You can attend one or both. Then we also have our fall CE series coming up. I'm just working on getting the last couple of details, Zoom links and whatnot from my instructors. But we do this series in the fall and the spring on the third Thursdays of the month. The CE classes are 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and we've got our dates right there. I think September, we're going to actually adjust that date though, because it is the day of the We Serve Expo. So we want to make sure that you have the ability to not only get your CE credits, but also attend that expo. So stay tuned on that date. And the way that we have these classes set up at Landmark Title, if you take a full year of all of our CE classes, you will get all the credits that you need. So, you need to renew every 2 years. We help you all out by making sure that we are covering all of that for you. And then last but certainly not least, we are still in July and we are celebrating Christmas in July. So if you've had the opportunity to speak with one of our business development managers and they've given you a little bit more information, what we do every holiday season, this will be our third year in a row as a company-wide, each of our offices adopts a family through the organization HELP, the Homeless Engagement Lift Partnership. And we're looking to expand and help more families this year. So we have 7 offices. And it was great. Last year we helped about 10 families. But guys, this year, we as Landmark Title are looking to help 100 families. So please, if you're interested in adopting a family, some of them are as small as 2 to 3 people. So it can be really easy. HELP gives you a list of their names, their ages, their wants, their needs, sizes, everything. And then, you go out, you do the shopping, and HELP will even wrap all of these presents and deliver them. it's an amazing way to give back during the holiday season. So scan the QR code, even if you just want some more information about it. And then, Oleg, we have another question. All that rambling that I've been doing stirred up more information.
Awesome.
So before we end today, what advice would you give an agent when searching for a lender partner?
You know, in this market where it's shifting so quickly, you want to work with a lender that is going to close the deal for you. That's the most important thing. Appraisals are wonky. So having a local lender partner that can still close in 30 days versus the big banks, your Quicken Loans, your Wells Fargos, you need to find somebody who's local, who has been through these shifts in the market, that have all the processes in the back. Because once you put them in contact with your lender partner, ours is Bison Ventures, one of our biggest lender partners that we lean very heavy on, because I know I'm going to get paid. I'm not worried about the appraisal. Once they're under contract and a pre-qual, I know that person is qualified. You don't want to be like, oh, and this has happened several times. I've seen with other agents in the office, and I was like, oh my God, a week before close, they realized the person wasn't qualified. Like, you should have known that from day one. So work with your local lender partner. Bison Ventures has been fabulous to us. We've been with them for over 10 or 12 years. And they've always, when they say the person's going to be able to close, they close. So that's my recommendation.
Excellent. Well, Oleg, thank you so much for coming on today. These were really great. This was great information.
Thank you for having me again, Sarah. Thank you so much. I'm always
absolutely. Like I said, I love having top producers on because you guys, you don't miss a beat. In fact, not only do you not miss a beat, but you do better than ever when there is a shift or adversity out there. So I love having the pleasure of talking with you guys, learning from you. And I hope that everybody got a lot of really good information. If you want a copy of the recording, reach out to your business development manager. Whether you work with Beth, Becky, Melinda, Mary, Patty, Michelle, and Prescott, Michael, Tom, or Renee, they can get you this recording, many others. We have all of them on our Landmark Title YouTube channel. As well as help you to implement, systems and different marketing strategies for your business. And then, as always, thank you to Landmark Title for allowing us to bring you Marketing Matters and have great guests like Oleg on here every Wednesday at 10 a.m. We have 7 offices across the valley to service you, as well as 1 in Prescott. And once you've marketed, once you've been out there, once you've generated the leads, once you've got that contract, please think of us on line 117 on your contract. We would love to work with you. And that's it for us today, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.